What's up, guys? A couple announcements before I get into today's video. Been doing a lot of individualized coaching one-on-one with you guys. I have the link right below here, right below this video, where you can schedule a time for a free session, just to chat with me one-on-one. We do it via Zoom, and it's really cool. I get to figure out exactly what your problem spots are with whatever you're going through, and hopefully I can help you with that. Apologies to anybody who has gotten caught up with the Zoom issues. 100% on my end. That's my problem because I'm terrible with technology, but I'm getting better and I'm working on it. So be patient with me. If that is you, please reschedule. It's a good time to get on a coaching call and maybe make whatever you're going through a little bit easier. Again, if that's Suboxone tapering or getting into Suboxone or getting off of Suboxone or off of methadone, whatever it is, or you're stuck in a bad situation at work or relationship or living situation, whatever it is. Sometimes it's helpful to just have somebody who's on the outside look at it with a fresh set of eyes and maybe give you some advice. That's what this is all about, and it's been really fun to work with you guys up until this point. I got a couple people that I'm working with on a more regular basis, and we're seeing progress, and it's cool. But anyways, back to today's video that has a lot to do with a specific part of recovery coaching that is extremely important, and I think it's often overlooked, especially to those of us who are just getting into this whole path or this journey. And I think it's cut to the chase. It's meditation. And I think the reason that it is overlooked or passed up on is because it seems very like woo-woo, like mysterious and maybe bullshit for a lot of you. But I'm here to tell you that it's not bullshit, and it's pretty simple when you get down to exactly what's going on and the mechanics of it. It's pretty simple to see what's going on and why it works and why it's scientifically proven to work and why it's really, really, really a powerful tool that is going to help you with whatever you're going through right now and in every single troubling instance you'll ever come into for the rest of your life. So this is important shit here. Now, when I was first introduced to meditation, it was from my father, who was just into it for a long time. He had his own or has his own, issues with just normal stuff, anxiety, worrying about things in the future, depression, concerning yourself too much with things in the past. And we all do that. And meditation is a really simple way to dial yourself back in to the present moment, what's going on right now, and to, realize that it's okay. What happened in the past is in the past. There's nothing you can do to change it. It is what it is, and there's no sense in freaking yourself out about it. And you don't have to worry about the future. A lot of the things that we stir up in our anxious minds about things that may come to pass often do not come to pass. And we have no control over it, really, one way or the other. The best thing that we can do for ourselves and our mental health is to bring it back to this exact moment and check in with yourself and say, hey, how am I doing right now? Everything seems okay. Everything's okay. There's no sense in, living in the past or living in the future when you can't do anything about that or to control it. We have to, learn to control what we can at this moment right now. So to start back at the beginning, I think a reason or an issue I had with meditation was it's difficult. And you sit there and, there's a thousand ways to skin a cat, and that's the same with meditation as it is with anything else. But when I was first taught to meditate, It was very, you know, Eastern civilization, like soft bells chiming in the background and, you know, whatever. And I was like, what the fuck are we doing here? And just didn't get much out of it. I ended up just falling asleep every time I tried. My head was kind of running in circles, and it was pretty useless. I'll say that. Um, and I didn't really get a better grip on it until fairly recently. And this is, you know, I've used this tool through my recovery process. And again, even up until today, I meditate in some way, shape, or form every single day. And I think what's important is for you to find what your best strategy for meditation or mindfulness is. And you should have a couple of those tools in your belt. A big one for me, and this is at the base of meditation, any meditation practice in itself, is focusing 100% on the breathing. So I really like, breath work or breathing therapies that have me focus intentionally on my breath, the intensity of my breath, the timing of my breath. And that allows me to occupy my mind at least with something that feels productive. And there's a bunch of them out there. There's a bunch of breathing techniques that I think are really beneficial. I went over a couple of them in my last video about anxiety and how it literally, every physiological state that we can get in has a corresponding breathing pattern to it. So if you become anxious about something, your breathing pattern is going to change. But the cool thing about it is if you change your breathing pattern, it will also change your physiological state. So it's a two-way street there. And it's the only system we have as human beings where it works automatically, like on its own. You don't have to think about breathing, but you can also control it yourself. Nothing else in the human body works that way. Like your heart beating, for instance. Like your heart just beats. You can't make your heart beat faster, but you can increase your rate of breathing. You can slow it down, and that again has an effect on your physiological state. So when you're getting anxious, one of the breathing patterns that works, and again, there's a lot of them, and I'll go over some, and I'll put some links to other YouTube videos that I use on a daily basis to help me find different breathing patterns that I like. One of them is a 6-second inhale, a 10-second hold, and then an 8-second exhale. So just to go. Or whatever it's supposed to be. And off of just one of those, I can feel something going on. I don't know what it is. But when you do that for just even a minute or 2 minutes, your whole physiological state changes. You come back down to earth. You get back into the present moment. You're concerned about your breathing, not about whatever bullshit was on your minds. And you're back to now. And I think as a community, us in general, who tend to worry about things that are coming down the pike, maybe withdrawal symptoms, maybe, issues with your tapering process or whatever, we tend to kind of bug out a little bit. And this is a really great tool to say, hey, self, let's bring it back to right now and check in and see how we feel. And that's incredibly important for a lot of different reasons. And it's been incredibly helpful for me in my journey from heroin through Suboxone to where I am now for a million different reasons. But one, for instance, like something I used to get really hung up on is, especially through my recovery, when I started to kind of clean up and look back at who I was and how I was, especially in regards to treating other people or treating people that I was close to. I used to, and I would imagine, I guess it was depression. I used to get really depressed about the person that I was and how I treated other people. And I really hung on to this. And I beat myself up really bad. There was a couple circumstances in particular where I really behaved towards people in a way that I was really not proud of. And it hurt me. Like, it really hurt me. And I hung on to this, and it brought me, when I was in this process of recovery, it was a huge obstacle because it brought my whole, like, all of my momentum that I had, and I was doing so much better. It brought all that almost to a complete standstill. And I got into a really depressed state where it was hard for me to, eventually, it was hard to get out of bed. And I did, I've always, for the most part, been able to get up and go to work and be a functioning member of society through my addiction, through my recovery. But this depression that I had, stemming from me focusing on who I was in the past, almost brought me to a complete standstill. It was downright crippling. And I think a lot of us experience this when we start to get the chemicals out of our system, or, start to work on our recovery. We start to look at how we were behaving and how it did not align with maybe our moral compass or who we like to think of ourselves as. And what meditation or mindfulness or breathing kind of allowed me to do is, again, bring myself to the present moment and understand, hey, you are not the person now that you were then. You are not the person now. You're not the same person that made those decisions or treated the people poorly that you're upset about. You're a different person now. And I think this is powerful because you understand that you can grow and you can leave those bad habits or those ways of behaving that you aren't proud of. They are in the past. You can leave them in the past and you can move forward from here. And it's difficult, but when you start to get those feelings of depression because of maybe ways you behaved in the past or things that happened to you in the past, you can go back to your breathing and center yourself in the now. And I know that, may sound cliche, but I think it's really important. And you can show yourself that we're at a different place now. We're making different decisions. We're treating people in a better way. We're behaving in a way that we can be proud of, and we're making decisions that we can be proud of, and we're making decisions that are going to improve our lives and the lives of those around us. And if there's anything that we need when we're in this, journey to recovery, it's hope. And you can find hope in the present moment because you're not worried about, what you did or who you were in the past. And you're not worried about what might happen or what could go wrong in the future. You bring it down to right here and right now. And really, in almost any circumstance that I can think of, no matter how bad it is at that present moment, and as you know, it can get pretty bad. But when you get to that exact moment and you just stop and you focus and you slow your breathing down and you focus on your breathing and you start to change your physiological state, your mind will understand that everything is okay. Everything is okay right now. And if you start to get worked up about something, worried about the past, worried about the future, you can bring yourself back to this moment and everything's okay. You're not hurting anybody right now. Nobody's hurting you right now. You have to bring it all in and understand that you have control of that. You have control of your physiological state. You have control of that anxiety. You have control of that depression, at least enough to bring it back to the present moment and understand that everything's okay right now. Now, some resources for this. Again, I'll post them below, but just off the top of my head, Headspace is a really great app. I think there's a free version. I've mentioned it before on here. They have some really great stuff that you can get into, and they have everything down to, I think, like 2-minute meditations. So if you're new to this, this Headspace app will guide you through it, holding your hand, from start to finish, and it's awesome. And they have them on everything from balance to prioritization to sleep, whatever. Really awesome app there. I did end up getting the paid app because I use it so often and I find it so beneficial. It's just worth it to me. I don't even know what it is. It's, maybe $1 or $2 a month. Awesome. Highly recommended. A YouTube channel that I think is just fantastic is called Take a Deep Breath. They have a lot of really cool guided breathing patterns that will make you feel different immediately. Now, a lot of these are, 5 minutes long or 15 minutes long, and the more advanced ones are, up in, I guess, at least an hour long. But start slow, start small, focus on your breathing, try the easier ones out. And it's a lot like exercising. Like the more you do it, you see the benefit of it and you want to kind of take on some more. And I suggest that you start this right away. I mean, this doesn't require really any physical effort at all, besides maybe some breathing and some awareness. But there's very low effort here. So bang for your buck, you're getting a lot out of these practices. And again, these are tools that you're going to be able to utilize for the rest of your life, and they are extremely powerful. So check out Headspace app on your phone. Check out the Take a Deep Breath channel on YouTube, and just start getting in there. Like, get into your mind a little bit. See what's hiding back there. See what you're hiding from. It's the future. It's the past. Bring yourself into the present moment, and you're going to see that everything is okay. Thank you for watching, guys. Please like, share, subscribe. We're always trying to come out with new content in an effort to help anybody out that's dealing with a bad situation in life. Addiction, bad job, bad relationship, toxic people, whatever it is. We're trying to help you through it. So thank you again for watching, and I will talk to you soon. See ya.